Okay, so I'm going to try something new in this video. I'm going to smoke a joint so it doesn't smell. Oh yeah, so back to my ideas that I was talking about. One of the ideas I was talking about was St. Francis, and that's about the serial killer that keeps people alive, or keeps his victims alive for when the cops find them. So like you want to start out with like a guy and girl cop, and kind of like X-Files, right? And they get called in on this psycho murder, or the whatever cops that do, or whatever X-File cops, kind of exactly. And so they come to the psycho murderer's house, and you got to think that this guy's like an artist. This murderer's like an artist. He goes in and out of every inch of your body. He like uses natural processes and methods that he creates for himself, not only to preserve your body, but make certain parts of your body even stronger and accelerate, and not just on a steroid level, but like on an actual functioning level. He like improves the human anatomy. You know what I mean? He goes through every inch of your body, like exactly like he preserves your brain before he keeps as he's keeping it alive and stuff like that. So it can withstand, being propped up over there while your heart's beating over here with another accelerated heart device, while your veins were dipped in some sort of, well, you'd say alcohol if you didn't know how to preserve things, but like some sort of alcohol cryogenic laboratory name, right? But he might be using like, you know, coconuts, coconut oil, and extract from coconut oil, and blah blah blah. You might do something actually a bit more natural, just for the sake of it. Some sort of preservation process that also enhances the sensitivity. And that's the thing. This guy's he's a he's a master with the nervous system. So the thing is that these victims can feel their bodies all the way over there, and if he like attaches like a donkey's butt to you and sticks a stick up your donkey butt, you feel it like a donkey butt, like your nervous system still registers a stick in your butt or your donkey butt. You see, a donkey butt would feel weird in the first place, is what's presumed from that. So, oh yeah, one of the things that he writes, he when he rips apart his victims and scatters them across the room and has their hearts beating and their donkey butts getting poked, and he's got things on things on the guy's body saying "poke me here," and then you hear the guy go "oh," you hear that exactly, and it's like across the room, and his lungs are activated, and he's going "oh," and he's still alive and stuff. One of the things he writes on the wall is, "I did all this and still I found no soul." So that was one of the cool things that he writes. So back to the video games. There's a couple that I missed, and this one's a really good one. This one is about a priest, and this priest goes around, and he's got the power to bring you back to life. He's got the power to bring you back to life. So what he does is he goes around and he starts bringing back these people back to life for virtuistic reasons. Like, he's noticed some good things in certain people that end up dying and so forth, but he brings them back to life with the power, and the power of whatever, based on the story that you write, right? So he brings them back to life, and he raises this army of the undead, and these people that he brought back to life, and him and these people that he brings back to life become this very powerful force in society. So it's about building a game off that. Another game idea is food fight. Food fight's just a first-person shooter with food. Yeah, just food fighting, kind of like Splatoon, but with food. I have a dream sequence idea. This is an idea for an asset. This is to have, like, if you wanted to put a camera, say I was dreaming and you wanted to see my dream right here and a camera right here, and you see my dream that I'm talking about that I was going through. And there's this dream sequence. So you see the camera on me, but you also see the camera on the dream. So to create this dream sequence scenario where you can zoom in, where you can use two cameras basically for a dream sequence. That was the idea for that one. I don't know if I mentioned this, but a choose your own adventure type game where you pick the paths and lead to different points and maybe even your end. So have you ever read a choose your own adventure book? Sometimes you die early and you have to go back and stuff, right? So this is like a choose your own adventure video game. Which might be interesting to do. That's about drawing special pictures with vectors. So if you take like a 2D image and you connect the dots in the way that it looks like the image, there's all these other ways that you can connect the dots. There's an infinite amount of ways that you can connect the dots in a permutated way. So you have a normal vector image, but then you can connect the dots in all the permutations, and sometimes you come up with cool designs. And when you put these designs together, where you start not just overlaying them, but like, you know, you put one this way and one that way, one picture this way, one picture that way, and then connect the dots again. You can get these like 3D images, these 3D shapes that you might look really cool. So that was that. That's what that's about. I don't know if let's see how about that game. See what this one, a game based on 0 to 1 math. Well, so you start with like an empty construct. You start with like an empty planet. And what you want to think is, what's the most important thing? First thing, or I can only introduce one thing into this society. One thing into this empty planet, one thing into this empty construct. What is the most important thing that I introduce? So it's building a game off of this philosophy where you do everything where you only have one thing to do, and it has to be, you know, is the important, so important that it'd be the first thing that you do. And you do that every time. You do that at level 2, at level 3, level 4. You just do the most important thing to do, and you build. Yeah, first you start off with a concept or a virtue to start your society with. And these concepts or virtues will lead you to being able to do things. And now you want to build, and now you'll need a character, and then you'll build a character from this concept or virtue collection that you started out with. So you can play every stage. You know, you could go to stage 5 building virtues, or you could go to stage 3 building virtues and then build a character, is the idea. And now it's like, what's the most important thing just to introduce? How does it affect the seeds of growth? What kinds of seeds will you grow in this society? Like, this is all about my construct, where I took reality and I recreated reality, and I said this person's introducing happiness and joy, but he's also introducing, you know, curiosity and intrigue when he says, you know, great day today, the weather or the sun is, you know, spectacular in color. Exactly. So he says that, and he introduces all these things, all these categorical emotions and concepts into the room. And then the next thing happens, right? And this does that, and, you know, the room builds all these concepts and leaves these concepts behind, and this is sort of going on while you're doing your normal talking and stuff like that, right? So I built this like AI construct of these things going on, and I said, what happens if we introduce, you know, like love to this room? And then we fast forward the things and see what does that introduce into this. Like, say people are fighting and you introduced, you know, tolerance, and then you see how things would totally change in a real situation, and what you'd introduce into the room, and what the balance of things in is, what might occur, what your reactions might be. You know, you can calculate a change, so to speak. So yeah, it's that construct where you introduce these concepts and virtues, and you grow things, and you control. You fix things, right? Or you look at things, or you can also theorize stuff, right? And compare stuff, compare reality to fiction, and compare your theories to reality, and compare your reality to your theories back and forth, and so forth. But that's what that game is based off, is 0 to 1 math, introducing concepts from an empty planet to a fully advanced, enlightened utopian society.